All right, all right. All right, all right, all right. All right, okay. All right, okay. All right, okay, okay. I think I'm live. Let me stop playing. Volume's up. Everything, everything's looking all right. Yeah. All right, let's do this. We're not afraid to. Let me stop. All right. Hey, what is up, you guys? It is Tyler. Welcome back to the Tyler Webs channel. Welcome to. I can't even say another New Japan Pro Wrestling review because it's not. Welcome to a WWE review. I know, right? Of Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2018. Oh, this was a Before we start off, let me just say, this show was actually I would say it was on the border between decent and mediocre. Like, this was, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't call this show good or great, but I wouldn't call it bad either, because if it were bad, that means it had to be a lot of bad matches, a lot of bad booking decisions, all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't call it a bad show. It just wasn't good. So I'm just gonna go with mediocre. It was a pretty mediocre show with a good positive at the end. So before I start off, I will just have to point out that it's a Hero Black Clover says it was trash. Didn't see it. Heard the reaction. It sounded bad. And though the reaction sounded bad, yeah, I mean, depends on what match you're watching. I'll get right out the way. I did not catch the first two matches on this show. I was on my way home from work during that, and then when I got home, I got something to eat, and then I took a shower. So, well, I didn't take a shower right away, but I was trying to. I ended up coming home like later than I expected to, so I didn't get home until into the third match. I also skipped the pre-show. I'm a little upset because the Cruiserweight Championship was on the main card of Survivor Series, and now it's back on pre-show duty. That made me kind of mad. I don't understand why all of a sudden they just put it back on a pre. I mean, maybe it's because it's Cedric Alexander, and they're like, oh, it's Cedric Alexander. Let's put him on a pre-show. Because Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali were on the main show for Survivor Series. No, that's not true, because Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy was on the main show of Super Showdown as well, but that's not pay-per-view technically. Anyways, Buddy Murphy did defeat Cedric Alexander. I guess that's good for Buddy Murphy. I really did not want him to lose the title right back to Cedric Alexander, especially because Cedric held the title long enough. I mean, he held it for a good, 9 months. Maybe a little shorter than that. Maybe a little longer. I don't know. He was undefeated, I think, for a good span of time. He was due for a title loss. And I thought it really should have been Mustafa Ali. But I went with Cedric Alexander as champion. Buddy Murphy wins it. And he's a great wrestler. I really want to see him on the main. If Mustafa Ali can be turned up with Daniel Bryan on SmackDown Live, Buddy Murphy, when he drops his title, I want to see him on Raw with Seth Rollins. That would be lit. That would be so awesome. But Buddy Murphy defeats Cedric Alexander. Also on the kickoff show, Elias defeated Bobby Lashley in a ladder match. I guess with Elias's guitar hanging above the ring. Leo Rush probably has something to do with this. But yeah, that was the kickoff show. Those are the results I'm reading here. I didn't watch the show. So I also liked how this video had 6 likes and 3 dislikes before I even went live. I was sitting here like, wait a minute. How does this have 3 dislikes, 6 likes when I didn't go live, I didn't comment, nothing. So that was pretty interesting. So the show started off with R-Truth and Carmella versus Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. And the winners of this Mixed Match Challenge Finals will enter the number 30 spot in their respective Royal Rumble matches next year. Well, the Royal Rumble coming up. So this is pretty important to me because I'm going to be there at the Royal Rumble. R-Truth and Carmella got the win over Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. I thought it was going to be Jinder and Alicia because Alicia, she never does anything. I think giving her a bone here and there would be nice. And Jinder Mahal, he's a former WWE champion, so it makes sense. But I guess the whole R-Truth Carmella dynamic is going over pretty well, and everyone's liking the random dance breaks. So They got the win here. They're the winner of the Mixed Match Challenge. Even though, when it first started off, if I remember correctly, they were like, what, 0-3, 0-4? So I don't know how the hell they managed to make it to the finals. But nonetheless, R-Truth and Carmella are the winners of the Mixed Match Challenge. R-Truth enters number 30 in the Men's Royal Rumble, and Carmella enters number 30 in the Women's Royal Rumble. Carmella, that makes sense. R-Truth, not so much. But, you know, number 30 spot has been really diminished over the past few years. So I don't think it matters as much as it used to anymore, if you ask me. We didn't get to the next match. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships are on the line as The Bar goes up against the New Day and the Usos. From what I heard, this match is pretty good. I actually was chatting with one of my friends during my ride home, and I wasn't texting and driving. Don't worry, I was being driven home. They said it was pretty good. The Bar retained here. Once again, I wasn't there when the match happened. So the Bar retained. Like I said, New Day, Usos, the Bar, they're great tag teams, but I feel like we shouldn't be focusing them as the only tag team that's on SmackDown Live. So I would like for someone like Shelton Benjamin and whoever the hell he's the tag team with, because Chad Gable's not on SmackDown anymore, or Fandango, who never fucking does anything anymore. Just another SmackDown tag. If there are any other SmackDown tag teams, I wouldn't know because they never act like there are any. So I just want someone else to get a championship match. They don't have to get a reign, but it's a championship match against these three guys because this is getting a bit repetitive. We didn't get into the next match. This is the crop matches I actually saw. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. Now, the match stipulation here being if Baron Corbin wins this match, he will become the permanent general manager of Monday Night Raw. And if Braun Strowman won this match, he will get a rematch against Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble. And Baron Corbin will be relieved of his duties as the active general manager of Monday Night Trash. So going into this, I think everyone already well knew that Braun Strowman was injured, as all the reports said. He has an elbow injury or whatnot. So I was going into this like, well, they're gonna have to protect him somehow. They're probably gonna have like someone come out and help him. So Baron Corbin comes out, right? And he's telling the crowd, he's like, yeah, you guys can't do anything. I'm gonna be the GM. And mind you, Heath Slater is the referee of this match. So that's something that should be noted right away. So Baron Corbin cuts a promo before the match starts. Referee rings the bell. He forces Baron Corbin to ring the bell. He forces himself. He forces Heath Slater to ring the bell, so that way Braun Strowman can count out because he didn't come out to his entrance theme. Referee gets the 6, and Braun Strowman comes out. And his arm is still in a sling, so he's obviously still injured. Now Braun tells Baron Corbin that, oh, I know you're stupid, but I didn't know you're this stupid or whatever. Like, if you would have been paying attention, you would have known that in a TLC match, there are no disqualifications. So if someone wanted to help me, it'd be perfectly legal. As if we're all fucking idiots and didn't know that already. So out comes Chad Gable, Bobby Roode, Apollo Crews, Finn Balor, and you have Heath Slater, who was already in there. They all come out, steel chairs in hand. They circle the ring. Heath Slater takes off his shirt, throws it at Baron Corbin, and punches him in the face. Then everybody gets to the ring, and they're all taking turns going ham on Baron Corbin. Chair shots from Finn, chair shots from Apollo, chair shots from Gable and Roode. Everyone's getting a shot in. Baron Corbin no-sells it. He didn't no-sell it, but he slid out of the ring and acted as if it really didn't hurt all that much. Started limping to the back, but then Kurt Angle's theme hit, and it was a really big reaction when Kurt Angle came out. Kurt Angle's theme hits. He comes down to the ring and chases Baron Corbin back into the ring, where we see everyone hit their finisher. Everyone takes turns here, hitting their finisher onto Baron Corbin. Heath Slater puts his referee shirt back on as Braun Strowman enters the ring, puts his foot over Baron Corbin, and gets the pin. So Braun Strowman winning the match. Was not a fan of how this match played out. Not a fan at all. I mean, it was a bit cheesy. I just feel like with the whole walking into this match, knowing Braun Strowman's injured, I really don't think there was really any other way for this to play out. I mean, there's many ways. If you put on your booking hat, I'm sure you guys could have booked a better way for this match to end with Braun Strowman still winning. But you had like 5 guys come out and help Braun Strowman win to get a championship match. Like, I feel like that diminishes Braun Strowman's actual championship match because he didn't deservedly earn it. He literally had 5 guys enter in that ring, beat up his opponents, and then he put his foot over his opponent to get the win. What work did he do to actually win that championship title match? What work did... He was injured. If anything, it should be going to someone else. So as far as I'm concerned, Braun Strowman doesn't deserve that championship match. If anything, he doesn't deserve it because he lost to Brock Lesnar like, what, 3 fucking times already? Once at No Mercy, once at SummerSlam last year, and at Crown Jewel this year. He's been pinned. He got pinned by Braun Strowman. He got pinned by Brock twice, and he technically lost to Brock 3 times. So you guys tell me, why exactly does Braun Strowman deserve the chance to face Brock again? Even if WWE wanted, fantasized about putting the title on Braun, which I highly doubt is going to happen. I think Braun Strowman is just going to lose for the 4th fucking time. Even if they thought about putting the title on Braun, why did it take them 4 tries just to get it right? Why couldn't they have had Braun Strowman beat him the first time? You do all this build-up with this monster among men that you have, but at the same time, you have this beast incarnate. It's the perfect matchup. But then every time they come to blows, every time a match comes around, who wins? Oh, the beast wins. 3 times. We're at match number 4. My thing is, in a best of 5 series, it takes 3 wins to win the best of 5 series. If you win 3 times in a row, you don't get to go to the other 5 matches because you already lost the battle. So, I don't understand the logic behind this. This is WWE's bullshit. Hey, we're handing out title shots. This is the shit I don't like about WWE because it does not logically make any sense. But then again, I gotta remember what company I'm talking about here. So, I'm just not even going to talk about it anymore. I'm going to move on. I'm going to the Rumble, so I'm going to have to watch this match. And it just makes me... I just don't understand why this match is still happening. I just really don't. But, let's get into the next match. Natalya versus Ruby Riott in a tables match. You guys know the build-up going into this match. Ruby Riott came out Monday Night Raw with a table that had Jim Neidhart's on it, saying that Natalya's going to be closer to her father than ever when she puts her through the table, which I thought was just, you know, it was whatever. But everybody was like, there were people who were just like so angry about this. And they were like, oh my God, I can't believe they went that far. I will say, I think it's a bit cheap that they've gone so low as to use Natalya's dead father in this storyline to get it over. But that spot alone was not really all that offensive. At least not to me, it wasn't. Everyone's just a little bitch in 2018. And this is going to get worse in 2019, so got to get used to it. This match actually was surprisingly not bad. I mean, of course, I wasn't expecting a bad match because Natalya's a good wrestler, Ruby Riott's a good wrestler, but I don't know. I came into this match not expecting anything special. But, of course, it wasn't anything special. But it wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. Pretty good. Decent? It was good. It was good. I wouldn't recommend you guys go watch it. Wouldn't go out and say go all your way and watch this match, but for what it's worth, it was a good tables match. And they got their spots in here. Liv Morgan saved Ruby Riott from getting thrown into a table. She went through a table. Then later on in the match, what's her name? Sarah Logan saved Ruby Riott again. She got put through a table by Natalya. At one point, she went back at Ruby Riott and she said, "You want to mess with my family, bitch?" And swear to God, that's what she said to Ruby Riott before slapping her in the face. And I was like, oh wow, all right, there's some fire there. Let's go, Natalya. And then they had a bit of a brawl. Then Ruby Riott took Natalya up to the ramp, and she threw her face into because she had the table kind of standing up on the ramp. She threw Natalya's face into the table of Jim Neidhart, and she was rubbing her face against the table like, "You see this? Your father's ashamed of you. Your father this, your father, that. And I'm like, and the crowd, like, she got mega heat for this. The crowd was booing her. And I'm like, well, this is great. This is what they want, right? And people ask for stuff like this, but then when they get it, they're like, oh, that's too far. Exactly why people ask for the Attitude Era, and I'm like, they will never bring it back because of fans like this. They get pissed over shit like this. Why do you think they didn't bring it back yet? So you get bras and panties matches, everything's a bad idea. Anyway, skip to the end of the match here. Ruby Riott goes for a top rope Karana. On to, now, before this, Natalya pulled out a table for her own. A table with Ruby Riott on it, which I thought was pretty funny. She gets that table to the ring. Ruby Riott gets Natalya on the top rope, goes for a top rope with Karana. Natalya catches her. Now, the catch was slow. The execution was slow. But above all, she executed a middle rope powerbomb through the table on Ruby Riott, getting the win. So, yeah, that match happened. It was good. It was one of the better matches on the show, if you ask me. We didn't get to the next match. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. Honestly and truly, I took a shower. I didn't know which match was up next, but I'm like, I've been working outside all day. I'm going to take a shower. So I go take a shower, come back, and it's towards the end of the match. And I said, fuck. I really went to the shower. I really took a shower during Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. So I was a bit pissed about that. Saw Ziggler at the end trying to help out Balor, but they kind of had a little bit of a misdirection there. But Finn Balor was able to defeat Drew McIntyre with the, was it the foot stomp? I'm trying to remember exactly. I think he got him with the foot stomp. Yeah, the coup de grace. He got the coup de grace onto Drew McIntyre for the pin. I forgot to take notes down for that part of the match. I'm sorry, guys. But that match, actually, from what I saw the last half, was pretty good as well. So yeah, Finn Balor gets one of Drew McIntyre. Hopefully, they still build up Drew McIntyre. They've been building him up so well this year. So hopefully this continues in 2019. I still am vouching that Drew McIntyre wins the Royal Rumble, but I'm not gonna bank on it. I'm just vouching for it. We didn't get into the next match. Oh yeah, I was super excited for this match. Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match. You know, when this match first came on, I asked myself, I said, self, what year is this? And well, it's 2018. Okay then. Why the hell is Randy Orton facing off against Rey Mysterio in 2018? You know what, self? I really don't know. And then I proceeded to go on my phone for the next few minutes, going in and out of this match. This was paint by numbers. Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton have had many matches over the last 10 goddamn years that they've been in the company. Rey Mysterio has been out of the company for those 10 years. But they've had matches stretching back until 2007. So that we gotta point that out. That they've had matches 10, 11 years ago. This is just a chairs match, which I think is a dumb concept. Like, I can use a chair in any goddamn match, so what makes this so special that I can use more chairs than the average match? I don't understand. It's not there were any really creative chair spots in here. I've seen just about every chair spot they've done, except for one where Randy Orton had Rey Mysterio on the top rope. And you know how the trio position goes. You know, their opponent has their, like, feet dangling underneath the top turnbuckle. Then the opponent's, like, kind of laying, like, cross-legged downwards. Well, he had that on him, but it was reversed. So Rey Mysterio's head was facing the turnbuckles. And then he had a chair kind of in the middle of it, and he was throwing his head against the turnbuckle. That spot I'd never seen before, and that was actually pretty cool. That I thought was really cool. So they had that in there. They had a few more chair spots. This wasn't some great technical masterpiece. It really was just the brawl. Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, they're good, but, you know, they're older. They're past their prime. That's just how it is. The end of the match I thought was dumb. So Rey Mysterio starts getting a little bit of offense in after Randy Orton was kicking his ass. So he kicks Randy in the gut. He then gives him a hurricanrana, sending him into, like, there's 4 steel chairs lined up in the middle of the ring, kind of laid right in a row. He gives him a hurricanrana, sends Randy Orton right into the chair. Randy Orton sits on the chairs. Rey Mysterio then hops on one of the chairs, hits a hurricanrana onto Randy Orton off the chairs into a 1-2-3 pin. I said, wow, that was a dumb finish to this match. This was a dumb match in general. What a waste of my time. We didn't get it to the next match. Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, Ronda Rousey made her debut this year at WrestleMania. And to her credit, she has been a fairly good wrestler. I don't think I've really seen a bad Ronda Rousey match yet. And I think that's all due to the fact that she's very protected in her matches. And they're probably all very, very heavily played out for her. And she probably rehearses a bunch of them. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, this is all performance art. So that's fine. And it's going to take practice before you actually look like you know what you're doing. But this match, you know what? Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey have had a match before. They had that Money in the Bank this year. And that match, from what I remember, I don't remember that match being really that bad. This match was also not that bad. Wasn't like really good or anything, but it wasn't bad. Ronda Rousey, Nia Jax, they had some good spots in here. One of the noteworthy spots in here was Nia Jax going for her top. I'm sorry, let me take a drink of water here. My throat's getting all types of worn out. Sorry for sudden pause. Usually I would cut this stuff out if it was edited, but I wanted to go live. That way I have time to edit the video before I go to sleep. But anyway, Nia Jax had Ronda Rousey on the top rope, on the middle rope for a Samoan drop. But Ronda Rousey countered this, got out of it, and hit a powerbomb onto Nia Jax. Nia Jax kind of hesitated on a powerbomb, but it's kind of lessened the blow, honestly. But, honestly, got some other cool moves in here. She got a really beautiful crossbody splash from the top rope onto the floor, onto Nia Jax. They got some punches in. Nia Jax, of course, was teasing the punch the whole match, trying to get some in here. At the end of the match, she tries to go for the punch. She misses though, and she kind of clutches Ronda's arm, and then Ronda reverses it. She has her arms, and she's like yanking Ronda, yanking her. Then Ronda steps onto Nia's knee and like mounts on top of Nia, takes her down into an armbar. I thought that was actually pretty cool. That was actually pretty cool. Takes her down, has the armbar locked in, looks to me right in the face before applying it and getting her to tap out. Ronda Rousey retaining the Raw Women's Championship. And after the match, this was just great. Nia Jax was about to get interviewed by Charlie Caruso, but Becky Lynch comes out of nowhere. Crowd goes insane, by the way. And she's like, "Remember when you broke my face?" And she kicks Nia in the gut and sends her into the wall. I wish the beatdown had been a little bit longer than that. Sends her into the wall and tells her to keep my name out your mouth, which I thought was just awesome. The crowd was crazy for this, and I was crazy for it too, not gonna lie. Let me check the comments real quick before I continue on. It did the Monster on Men won by doing nothing. Yeah, I think that lessened the win, if anything. What happened with Ronda, Becky, and Asuka? I'm going to get to that last. We're going to get to that very soon. Don't worry, the match is coming up. The match is coming up very soon. So we get on to the next match, guys. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. This is also a pretty decent match. I mean, they've had a fair share of matches over this year. I can't say they had like a lot, but they've had a fair share of matches. You know, they do everything you would expect. Daniel Bryan hit his greatest hits. AJ Styles hit his greatest hits. AJ Styles hit his Springboard 450, which I thought was dope, but he was clutching his ribs almost the whole time, so hopefully it's not like a big rib injury or anything. They tried for a few submissions. I know AJ Styles went for his, what's it called? The calf crusher 1 point, but Daniel Bryan got out of it. Daniel Bryan finally locked in his yes lock because he was been doing the whole heel hook submission for the last few weeks as he turned heel. So he finally locked in the yes lock, but on commentary they recalled it the label lock, and I was like, that is creative. Because before Daniel Bryan did the whole yes movement, it was called the label lock. So Daniel Bryan can still use the move and call it that. So I thought that was a nice touch. I actually really did like that they called it the label lock again. So a bit later on the match, AJ Styles goes for phenomenal forearm. Somehow, some way, Daniel Bryan was able to reverse a roll up that AJ Styles gets onto Daniel Bryan for the pin. Daniel Bryan winning the match. Like I said, good. It was a good match, but nothing special. It was a mediocre show. Like, there was some good matches, but nothing stood out to me. Then we get into the next match. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, this match right here. Now consider this, guys. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins had a feud about 4 years ago. 2014 when Seth Rollins turned heel. Their feud lasted a while. I mean, what did they start feuding in like June of 2014? I think their feud lasted until the very end of the year. The very end of the year is when their feud kind of came to a halt there. So they had a very long slew of matches. Singles matches, tag matches. They had every match under the sun. I think they had a steel cage match. They had a Hell in a Cell match. They had an Extreme Rules match. No Holds Barred match. Falls Count Anywhere match. They've had like every match type you could think of. No short of an Inferno match. So going into this, I'm thinking there's going to be some stipulation. They have to add some stipulation. You know, it's a tables, ladders, and chairs pay-per-view. Why wouldn't you add a stipulation to this match? But there was no stipulation. It was just a singles match. And first off, before I get into the match, Dean Ambrose comes out. I'm not liking this. You know, we've been clamoring. We've been asking. Some people have been asking for years to turn Dean Ambrose heel. We want a Dean Ambrose heel turn. He's long overdue. We want Dean Ambrose to finally become a bad guy. Be the villain of the story. Well, we finally get it. And what the fuck is this? He's coming out dressed like Bane with these goddamn weird-ass jackets. And now he has a siren going on in the background while his theme's playing, which is annoying as fuck, and I hope they cut that shit out soon. Because that siren got on my nerves like 2 minutes into his entrance. And it played on an infinite loop the entire theme. So I really hope that is the last we hear of that siren. And that someone tells Vince it's not working. Then we get into the match. I feel like I've seen enough Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins matches to know what's a good Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins match. And this was not one of them. And the crowd agreed with me. I think the crowd very much agreed with me because, mind you, this match had to go at least like, 15, maybe 20 minutes? Maybe a little less than that. It had to be around 15, 20 minutes. Because this match was so eventful. Not only was crowd booing during parts of this match, they started chanting Becky during part of this match. And then they started to chant, "This is boring." Yes. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. Two pretty good wrestlers. Got a "this is boring" chant from the crowd. So you can imagine this crowd did not like this match. I was not a fan of this match either. I'll say it again. They had a lot of matches in 2014. And they had a few matches in 2015, 2016. I don't think they wrestled at all last year against each other because Dean Ambrose was injured. But you guys get the point. They had a bunch of matches. So, of course, coming back to it, they got to innovate or do something new. And I felt like they brought nothing new to the table here. So that really hurt the match, in my opinion. I'll skip to the end here because I can't remember a single thing that happened. I wasn't really all that into it to begin with. Seth Rollins goes for a curb stomp onto Dean Ambrose, but Dean Ambrose quickly reacts to it, hitting a Dirty Deeds onto Seth, getting the pin. So Dean Ambrose is now your new Intercontinental Champion. And who could possibly give a shit? Now you know what this means. Because Seth Rollins was Intercontinental Champion, he's contractually obligated to a rematch. So we're going to get Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble, which I'm not all excited about either. Hopefully the Royal Rumble has some better matches. Otherwise, this is going to look to be a good card. But, of course, we have the 2 Royal Rumble matches on the show, so that's going to obviously save the show. I'm not too worried about wasting money here because I brought it for the value of the Royal Rumble match, not really the pay-per-view itself. Alright, you guys are asking for the comments section, so I'll get to it. Of course, we have the main event. Asuka versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair in a tables, ladders, and chairs match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This match saved... If this match never happened, oh, this would have been a bad show. This would have been a cold day in hell for WWE if this match did not happen. Thankfully, these women came in clutch. At first, it was a little slow to start off. Not going to lie, you know, they were doing their opening sequences. Asuka was kind of going at both women. Then Charlotte started going at both of them. They're using chairs in here and tables and ladders, but they were trying to find their groove a bit for like the first few minutes of the match. But when they found their groove, shit really started to pop off. There was ladders used in here. There's tables used in here. They did an announce table spot. Let me just name a few spots in here. So one of the spots in here, Asuka, mind you, she was going at both of these women. And she managed to get... This spot was just so crazy. So she manages to get Charlotte into the corner. And she's about to go for something. But Charlotte gets out of the way and she spears Asuka through one of the tables. Now that wasn't the spot I was talking about that was really crazy. That spot popped in my head first. I'm trying to go in a sequence of events here. So she spears Asuka through the table. Then another spot comes up. And she manages... Charlotte here. She manages to get Becky on the outside. Becky, they're battling it out. Asuka comes out of nowhere. Hits both women. She has a kendo stick. She's whacking both of these women. Now, mind you, everyone got their kendo stick shots in. Everyone did. Like, Becky got some in on Charlotte and Asuka. Then Asuka got some in on Charlotte and Becky. And Charlotte at one point just went crazy on Asuka for no reason. I had to tell her to chill out for a second. But they started going ham on the kendo stick shots. One of the cooler spots in here was Becky. You guys remember back at Evolution, Becky got Charlotte on the announce table, went to the top of a ladder, and hit her with a leg drop. Well, she got Charlotte back on the announce table, but this time Asuka was with her. So now you have Charlotte and Asuka laying down on the announce table. Becky at the top of the ladder. She's about to do a leg drop onto both women. Asuka gets out of the way. Becky Lynch. Now, she did hit the leg drop. But it wasn't on Asuka. It wasn't on like Charlotte's neck. It was right slab dab in the middle of her stomach. All of that body weight just went splat right in the midsection of Charlotte. I felt so bad for her. And then on top of that, the table didn't even break right away. So she literally bounced off of Charlotte's stomach. Charlotte was clutching her ribs hard as shit. She even yelled, "Oh fuck," out loud. It was bleeped out, but you could see it on her face when she yelled it out. I was like, God damn, I hope she's okay. But she was fine because Becky and Asuka, they were in the ring. They were battling it out for a bit. Asuka got knocked outside of the ring. She started going at Becky. Charlotte came out of nowhere and speared Asuka into the barricade. The barricade didn't break, but I thought that added to the spot. You know what I mean? It was just really good. It was just a really good match. Everything you would think would be in this match happened. I mean, they didn't go above and beyond. It wasn't like a fucking independent wrestling match. But I'm going to skip to the end here. You guys should definitely watch the match if you haven't already to know all the other spots in here. Those are really the two big highlights I can think of at the moment. You have Asuka and Charlotte. Asuka and Charlotte are battling out on the top of the ladder. Becky's basically down at this point. She gets back into the ring. She sets up a ladder right by Asuka and Charlotte, and she starts to climb up the ladder. Now, Asuka's down because Charlotte has knocked her down. So she gets over to the other ladder with Becky. And they're battling it out. And the crowd looks to the left and they're yelling and they're screaming. I'm like, what are they screaming for? And I'm like, well, who else could be coming out right now? Like, Asuka didn't get up, but they're reacting to something different. So I'm like, who the hell are they yelling at? And I'm like, Nia came out? Like, she went for retribution? I don't know. And it turns out to be Ronda Rousey. Ronda, I'm sitting there, I'm questioning, like, well, what the fuck is she coming out here for? Like, I know she's got beef with Charlotte, but what is she doing in this SmackDown Women's Championship match? She's the Raw Women's Champion. She has no business being in this match. So she comes out to the ring. She storms the ring. No expression on her face. Straight face. Comes down to the ring. Walks underneath this ladder. Pushes Charlotte and Becky's ladder down. And both women fall to the mat. And Ronda just leaves. She basically fucks up Becky and Charlotte's moment and leaves the ring. Asuka takes her moment to climb the ladder and retrieve the title. Asuka winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. As much as I love the fact that Asuka won, wasn't too big a fan of the fact that she needed Ronda Rousey to win it. But Asuka is now your new SmackDown Women's Champion. Hey, Ramsey. What's going on, man? I haven't seen you in the comment section in a while. But yes, Asuka is now your new SmackDown Women's Champion after an assistance from Ronda Rousey. So it seems like Asuka is... It seems like we might be going into a triple threat feud here with Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda. Now, I thought that we were going to see Charlotte win the title and Becky win the Royal Rumble, but with Asuka winning the title, and it seems like we're going into a Rumble season pretty much now, we can either get Charlotte and Becky at the Royal Rumble in a rematch, or we can get a triple threat at the Royal Rumble for the Raw Women's Championship, or we could just get both women in the Royal Rumble match and they kind of face off. There's a lot of routes you could go there with Asuka as the champion, because it doesn't seem like they're going straight to Asuka versus Charlotte, which I thought they were going to do. It seems like they're still trying to keep up the storyline with Charlotte and Ronda and Becky still being in it. So it's a bit interesting to see what they're going to do here. Now, of course, you guys know I don't watch Raw and SmackDown, so I can't tell you exactly what do I think the direction is going to go in. I'm just going based off of what I know and what I've seen in this pay-per-view. I'm going to do a video on that tomorrow because it's pretty interesting. I might have to tune into Raw. Probably not. I want to tune in to see what Vince has to say. He's gonna shake things up. I want to know how that's gonna be. He's gonna nurse Kurt Angle's the new GM. Maybe that's what shaking things up is gonna be. Maybe he's gonna say the Attitude Era is back, guys. Maybe that's the yeah, okay. But anyway, that was TLC, guys. That was your tables, ladders, and chairs review / results. Asuka's your new SmackDown Women's Champion after a really good match in the main event. This was a mediocre / decent show. Wasn't something you should need to go out of your way to watch. If anything, just the main event. What did you guys think down below? Let me know. Like this video. Subscribe to the Tyler Williams channel. Let's reach our goal, guys. 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We grew a lot. Like, I think we got at least somewhere between 30 and 40 subscribers in this single day alone. Like, that was... I was shocked. I had never... No, I can't say never, because I see a big growth in subscribers over one day. But I haven't seen a subscriber growth that big in a very long time, so that shocked me. So, yeah, keep that streak going, guys. Subscribe to the Tyler Williams channel. Push your Udimo, and thank y'all for watching this video. I love you guys as always, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.